Find out, and this is like a quick thing you can do at home. Find out what your child thinks it means to be physically attractive. Find out what they think it find out what they think it means before they come up with their own concept based on social media and what their friends think. You don't want somebody outside that house besides you, spouse, maybe grandparents, teaching your child what it means to be anything. But let's focus on physically attractive because it's a lot of stuff out there. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there. You got social media, you got YouTube, you have TV and everything out there. Nowadays, you probably won't see anybody. Like Precious was one of the few movies that I saw where a heavyset woman was like in the lead. Like she was out there. Now, if you notice that you'll have a heavyset entertainer, whether it's an actor or an actress or a music person, somebody's in the music business, they will lose weight over time. I've seen it with comedians. I've seen it with actors. I've seen it with music folks in the music business. Not all of them, but then again, depending on what their position is, you don't see it, but you see it a lot. And they shape up and they what are they doing to get to that point is not the point. But you don't want to be overweight for real. But I mean, like, I'm talking about where's the pressure coming from? They're not turning into sex symbols, but I mean, what if they're struggling to keep the weight off or whatever the case may be? How was your child looking at that? Does your child think that they're still pretty? Does your child think that they're still, handsome? Your child may look at that and say, man, I need to look like them in order to be accepted, in order to get the guys to like me. Because at a young age, them young boys ain't really looking at the average chick in junior high and high school. They looking at the chicks that be on the videos. They looking at Cardi B and they looking at Nicki Minaj and they looking at all these other girls because these women are out of reach for them anyway. And these young girls that are keeping things moderate, they're thinking like, why won't they like me? I'm talking about boys and girls coming up to junior high, high school, when they really shouldn't be focused on that. But when your child is figuring out that, hey, I'm wondering, how am I viewed by the world? Do they think I'm handsome? Do they think I'm cute? If they don't hear it enough, they're not going to think that's who they are. And it's okay to be handsome. It's okay to be cute. But you don't want them to be so overwhelmed with wanting that nothing else matters. You don't want them to be looking back on themselves like, oh man, I'm trash. Look at Britney Spears. I don't look like that. A lot of these people have issues. And a lot of these people don't need makeup either. Because Cardi B is good looking without makeup. She is a good looking lady. Matter of fact, my next video is going to be about her and how they talked about her. But you want your child to love themselves. And like I said in the other videos, a few other videos, buy them a mirror and have them look at themselves without makeup. Have them look at themselves without raw, not naked, but have them look at themselves and love themselves. Because they couldn't, without plastic surgery or getting off your behind and working out, you're not going to look like a lot of these people out here. Have them build up confidence in themselves, to show them how to build up confidence in themselves and help them by letting them know, hey man, you're looking handsome today. Hey baby, you're looking real pretty today. I like that outfit you got on. Take them to the mall, buy them an outfit, show them how to coordinate the clothes and be presentable to the world. Don't let the media show your child what pretty is. You show your child what pretty is. You allow your child to understand their own beauty and that they don't have to look like this person. They don't have to look like that person, because the biggest critics are going to be the ones that sit next to them in class until they graduate. And then with the pressure of coming to school every day, not being accepted, is going to be a problem for them. Y'all need to understand that as parents. You need to. And they're not going to want to tell you at first, but you got to keep talking to them. Don't pressure. But I mean, you want them to love themselves. You want them to put themselves first as far as respect, and not let nobody talk down on them. You want them to have that. All right? So look, y'all think about that. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.